And then the other really cool thing that's happening is like the toge drifting. I just did one in West Virginia last weekend. So basically, Drift Indy started working with Backroads of Appalachia, and there's a guy in West Virginia, Mark Maynard. He's like a senator or something. I can't remember. Congressman. He's some sort of guy in politics, and he passed a bill that was like, let's, make this bill to where we can use our public roads for like racing events. The roads that taxes pay for, bring people to our state, all that. So anyway, there's a lot of cogs to make it happen, but we literally got to drift down a legit mountain road.
That's cool.
It's somebody, like the bottom of the hill, there's somebody's house, and they had a birthday party going on. They're just hanging out while drift cars are gridding up in front of their house and then ripping up the mountain, and like if you told me 5 years ago that was going to be a thing, I wouldn't have believed you. So in a lot of ways, it's like peak, like drifting is really the best it's ever been. Seat time cars are affordable. Like that's a big thing. When I started drifting, you had to have a swapped car. It's like you get a 240, it makes 130 horsepower. You got to swap it. So it's like every car was built and swapped.
There's punch in the air right now.
Yeah. I mean, I drifted a KA one, but then I put RB20 in it,
Yeah.
But that was, Zs were still expensive. Like if you show up at the track then with the Z, you are like the rich guy.
I think they're expensive again.
Yeah, they have gotten there.
Kind of.
But it's like back then a Z was like 15 grand.
Yeah.
And a 240 was like 2 grand, and then an SR was $1,500, So it's
now
flipped.
Swapped.
Yeah. And that's what's funny is like I hear people say like, oh, like drifting sucks now because, Adam LZ made it to where everyone wants a kit and a built car. And I'm like, dude, that's how it was back then. Now, at least at OSW, 75-80% of the cars are stock Zs, E46s, E36s, Corvettes. And that's the way, like if you want to just go drive, the closer, it took me a long time and becoming an adult to realize this, but the closer to stock something is, generally the more reliable it is.
Yes.
And we have a hard time believing that.
Leave the engine and drivetrain stock and...
Right. The suspension, that's
the
fine.
rest of it can... Yeah, exactly. 100%.
The computer, the electronics, the engine, sealing, don't touch it, don't open it.
Yes.
Literally all of that stock is the most reliable it's ever going to get. More you modify it, because you think a modified part, if you put this part on your car, like some dude maybe has $2,000 in engineering to make that part and then makes that part. Whereas when Nissan made the Z, they might have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in engineering to make that part. That's not saying they didn't make bad parts, but it's weird as someone who likes building cars to accept that, but it's just the truth.
Yeah. Kids, don't listen to Matt Happel. He doesn't understand reliability.
Oh, Matt.
He doesn't get the reliability side of it.
Hey, he drives his Kia bone stock, so.
Exactly. He says that's the torque right there. That's got the power.
And it works.
Yeah.
It's reliable.
Exactly. I mean, even when it's 8s for 8s, like that thing was blowing up.
Oh, my God, all the time.
Every 300 feet down the track, it would blow up.
I remember that. Oh, it's so funny because it's like like when he wasn't trying, it was no problem going fast, and he tries to go fast, and it's like thing just blows up every 5 seconds.
It's the most unreliable LS he ever put together.
Literally. That's great, dude.
Yeah,
Matt,
he tunes your stuff, I know. So
yeah,
he helps you on that.
How did I come across him? I think I just came across his videos. Someone told me about him, and I started watching, and then I like comment on him, and then he like sent me a tune, and then like ever since then, he's helped me and tune my stuff, and he's a funny guy. He's so knowledgeable, and he's just like a nerd. I like car nerds, Like,
and he also doesn't really care about anyone's opinion or anything, or
that was what I admired about him. Was back then, he's like, people say you can't reuse head bolts. I'm gonna reuse them, and it's gonna work, because you get so many people who speak from the perspective of like someone will say, oh, I put head studs on my LS and it's reliable, so you got to put head studs on yours. And it's like, well, you didn't try reusing the head bolts, so you don't know for sure that the head studs are the reason your car's reliable. It's like I tell people who build LSs, like put together a basic LS for a drift car, I'm like, get short travel lifters. Because you're bouncing off limiter, you want a short travel like Johnson race lifter. But they're expensive. And I'm like, that said, I've always put them in. So like, for the most part. So maybe it'd be fine without them. I don't know. I can't tell you that they're good, but all my LSs have been reliable. So
and it's a fully serviceable lifter that if your engine blows up, you send them back to Johnson, you get them back.
Right.
They're fully serviceable.
And it's like, for what we're doing with these engines, like, it, in my eyes, it's a very worthwhile upgrade.
Yeah.
You know?
Guys, thank you for tuning in to the Bogetti Clips YouTube channel. For the full podcast, check us out on Bogetti Studios YouTube and all your audio platforms. Also, hit that subscribe button to not miss out on any of the new Bogetti clips coming up.